Please scroll on by, go eat your puppies for breakfast or whatever.
I need somebody to tell me that I'd not just walk upstairs and see a clip on the news talking about alligator Alcatraz. Make it stop!
How did this happen? Where did the inspiration come from?
If someone was to escape, should they be allowed to be free? Like if you make it through the gators and the pythons, you get citizenship.
It's great. I think they should have the whole facility should be staffed by scary animals.
You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You know what we're about to talk about. So a troll, primarily out here in these social media streets, a troll is considered somebody who antagonizes you intentionally. They push the buttons. They know what triggers you, if you will. And y'all, I thought, your boy thought Florida was only trolling the left. I thought Florida was just trolling. I said, oh, they're just being silly with alligator Alcatraz. I said, that sounds kind of cool. Yeah, but they're just trolling. There was no trolling, and no trolling was done. This has got to be, if we're going to go ahead and start making the best of 2025, go ahead and put alligator Alcatraz in there somewhere, because I did not see this coming. This has got to be the best thing I've seen in quite some time. This is hilarious. Let's bring it in. Let's talk about it.
Tonight, construction is underway deep in the Florida Everglades on a massive migrant detention camp that state officials are calling Alligator Alcatraz. Starting next month, 5,000 migrants will be housed in trailers and heavy-duty tents at this remote abandoned airfield.
As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz.
In a promotional video set to music, Florida's Attorney General lays out what he considers a deterrent for any potential escapees.
People get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons.
But some local officials warn the environmental impact could be devastating.
We have environmental and physical stewardship and safety concerns.
The Trump administration has said it wants to get up to 100,000 beds at detention centers across the country to facilitate mass deportations.
A lot of bad people were let into our country. We're getting them out, and we're getting them out fast.
The Department of Homeland Security says the new facility will cost about $450 million a year and will be reimbursed in large part by a FEMA program previously used to shelter migrants in places like this hotel in New York City. Do you think that this is a good idea for your home state?
Yes, I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, I 100% support the president's deportation efforts. It's the president's priority to get those individuals out of our country.
But immigrant advocates argue the money has not been set aside by Congress. And
the biggest concern is the grave inhumanity that seems to be at stake in terms of sending people to incredibly inhumane, brutal conditions.
An administration official tells NBC News that ICE currently has nearly 60,000 detainees in custody, a record.
Wow. Joining me now is the man who came up with this idea. It's Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer. Mr. Attorney General, thanks for being with us here today.
When people talk about, I want to go back to that gentleman who was saying it was inhumane in these dire conditions. You're still in the best country, bar none. You're still in the best country. You're still going to be taken care of. They're still going to get air conditioning. They're still going to get shelter. They're not going to be on chain gangs and such like that. And they're still in the country. They're still getting the due process that you all had such a problem with. These people, I don't think they want America to take care of and be sovereign and mind its own people and take care of its own people. They just want us to take care of everybody. These globalists are going to be the downfall, but y'all can kick rocks.
I think before I get into the specifics and details, which I have a lot of curiosities about Alligator Alcatraz.
Alligator.
How did this happen? Where did the inspiration come from?
Gator jail.
To convert this spot in the Everglades?
Sure. Well, under Governor DeSantis' leadership, Florida's become pretty good at responding to states of emergency, and that's really what the illegal immigration crisis is. Just last week, we pulled MS-13 members off the streets in Orlando. The week before, it was criminal alien human traffickers and sex predators. We stand by President Trump, and we're going to do everything we can to support that administration in their efforts. Thank God they're protecting American families. But Our success in arrests is filling up the jails quickly, so we need additional detention space. And this location is ideal because of its surrounding area. It's a low-cost, already developed 30-square-mile area surrounded by the Everglades. So Alligator Alcatraz has a nice ring to it, and we're going to get it up and running as soon as possible. You obviously need a less robust perimeter given the natural surroundings. There will certainly be additional. We're going to have staffed guards. The governor has called in the National Guard, the Florida National Guard, to help, along with other staff will support. We're also looking at other locations, at least a couple other throughout the state. We want to get 5,000 beds up and running by next month so that we can properly support the Department of Homeland Security in their mission. And I got to tell you, Secretary Noem had a great idea looking at the tens or hundreds of millions that the Biden administration was spending to put immigrants up in fancy hotels. That funding is being redirected towards these facilities, towards the deportations, and we're going to get the job done.
This message is for Democrats. MAGA, please scroll on by. Go eat your puppies for breakfast or whatever the fuck you guys do.
Oh my gosh.
For the rest of you people with normal functioning brains and actually a soul, they're building a concentration camp in the middle of the Florida Everglades. They're going to call it Alligator Alcatraz. Because
Can we call it, okay, Alligator Alcatraz? I like that. I like Gator Jail. How about that one? Crocodile Cell. Crocodile Confinement. How about that? Crocodile Concentration, since you said it, lady. But why are you not upset about the fact that there are these people here that are taking resources that are for you, that you've paid for, that are inappropriately and improperly utilizing resources that you've taken care of, that you've paid for? Why is that not your biggest concern?
that's super fun. We like to have super fun names when we lock up innocent people here in America, when we use a Gestapo of unmarked agents, and then we just kidnap people, and then by our own admission.
Please, down in the comments, please let me know. How many times does somebody kidnap a person and take them back to their original home? Let me know what movie, what book you've read where somebody gets kidnapped and they get brought back to their original home. I really don't understand this. Oh my gosh. Please, also, can you go ahead and make sure you like this video right now? When you all like these videos, it really lets YouTube know that this video adds value, and it helps out a whole lot to share this video out there to so many people. It doesn't cost you anything. All you gotta do is just click the little like button. I thank you so much for doing that. Let's get back to it. Let's go.
We're locking up people that do not have a criminal record, but MAGA doesn't care about that. They are just fine. They are just fine with innocent people being thrown in concentration camps in America because they have brown skin.
I need somebody to tell me that I'd not just walk upstairs and see a clip on the news talking about Alligator Alcatraz. By the looks of it, of what I saw on the screen, looked just like several rows of cargo shipping containers. They're building a fuck ton of shipping containers that they're going to throw human beings into because they're immigrants.
Okay, first of all, she's wrong about the shipping containers. They're tractor trailers. They're just like double wides, if you will. She's already wrong there, and she's loud and she's wrong. She's just going to keep spouting the same inconsistent thing. They're not shipping containers, not putting people in shipping containers. Stop it. Stop it. Because y'all don't have a problem when they use shipping containers to make houses out of, but stop that. That's not what those are. Those are trailers that they use for any other situation. So this is the part that I hate, when you're wrong and you're loud.
If that wasn't already horrifying enough to throw human beings into fucking containers, Florida had to Florida and be like, you know what, I'll do you one better. Not only are we going to make this disgusting fucking prison camp, but we're going to put it right in the Everglades next to the fucking gators and joyfully refer to it as Alligator fucking Alcatraz. No, absolutely not. Just make it stop. Make it stop!
As controversial as this whole thing has become, the logistics here are very familiar. Remember when after the hurricane, people displaced have big tent cities? kind of like that. The COVID hospitals, the field hospitals during the pandemic, kind of like that. And the pace that we have seen trucks and materials go in and out of here all day, even now after hours, this is happening very, very quickly.
They weren't playing. They were
Midpoint,
not playing.
Tamiami Trail at the edge of Big Cypress National Preserve. Florida's familiar logistics of temporary mass housing well underway. Though now for mass migrant detention. The training and transition airport run by Miami-Dade County, though surrounded by environmentally sensitive land, open and operational for decades.
This thing's been used a bunch of times over many, many years, and so the impact will be zero.
The biggest opposition, aside from the politics of detaining migrants at all, is about the environment.
What a slap in the face this is to the indigenous tribes.
Especially from those who live out here.
If we wanted to be economically sustainable and conscious, we would be talking about annexing this land into the National Preserve.
Plans are to keep migrant housing contained to the already developed portions of the property, temporary air-conditioned structures, detailed hurricane evacuation plans. We get our first look at the logistics for containing and porting away waste, a recycling program for trash, and stocking potable water.
We'll probably also do something similar up at Camp Blanding, which is where our National Guard headquarters to train there. We have some capacity there.
The state is opening detention space under the same emergency orders that paved the way for migrant transports from the southern border to Martha's Vineyard 3 years ago.
It is an active airport,
giving Miami-Dade County little recourse over state control of its airport in Collier County.
You know what? I don't understand why there's such a fuss about this. Would it make him feel better if the detention center was surrounded by a church, a school, and a nursing home? It's not like they're putting tents on the waterfront. I mean, these are...
Which, again, like, the people just want to be upset. They just want to be angry. They just want to be mad. Something's not right about this. If you're not giving these people if you're not buying them a house, a car, giving them food, taking care of their school and their health care, and just open up the gates and let everybody flood in, something's bad. There's going to be something bad about it. I'm all for it. I think they might be giving too much, even in Alligator Alcatraz, which, by the way, is still the best name ever.
People that have committed crimes, these are not nice people for the most part, right? They're gang members. They are people that need to be contained. And I'm having a hard time with, it's not even in the Everglades, by the way, right? If I read that correctly, it's by the Everglades. So I am all for just keeping the detainees where they belong, and if they do escape, let nature take its course.
If someone was to escape, should they be allowed to be free? Like, if you make it through the gators and the pythons, you get citizenship.
I think they should have the whole facility should be staffed by scary animals.
Oh, nice.
Like the guard should be the grizzly bears. But this is the most Florida possible solution to it. It shows you why Florida is the ultimate F around, find out state.
Yes.
Because there's only one road in to this place here. There's one bridge. And if you're a protester on it, you get to run them over. It's perfect. It's a win-win.
This must be hard for Governor Landry right now because he was the Attorney General of Louisiana, and they just had 10 bad prisoners get out in New Orleans. And I'm like, he's probably sitting there like, why wasn't I thinking about alligator boats?
Yes.
Alligator moats is crazy. Yo, this thing is wild, man. Shout out to Alligator Alcatraz. What a wild idea. But, hey, as he said, this is probably the most Florida solution possible. And there we go. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Please let me, hey, if you stayed this far, what kind of animals besides alligators and pythons should they have around Alligator Alcatraz? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. I'll see you over there real soon. Thank you so much for the support of the channel. And until next time, grace and peace.